Hi, everyone, and welcome back to my podcast, Podium. Have you ever experienced that sudden moment of panic when you reach for your phone and it's not where you thought it was? Maybe you're walking out the door, check your pocket, nothing. You check your purse, nothing. You look on the counter, nothing. And for those few seconds, your heart rate increases. Your mind starts racing. Where is my phone? And then when you finally find it, there's almost a sense of relief. But that moment makes me wonder, why is it that losing this small electronic device sometimes feel like losing a part of ourselves? Have we become so connected to our phones that they are no longer just objects we carry? Have they become something closer to an extension of who we are? Almost like an extra appendage, a digital limb attached to our everyday lives. Welcome to today's conversation. Think about your relationship with your phone. It's probably one of the first things you see when you wake up. Before you even get out of bed, you might check messages. You might scroll through social media. You might look at the news. You might check emails. And before your feet even touch the floor, you've already entered the digital world. Then, throughout the day, your phone follows you. It goes to work with you, it goes shopping with you, it goes on walks with you, it sits beside you while you eat, it waits beside you while you sleep. Some people even admit their phone is closer to them than the people they love. Now, technology is itself not the enemy. Our phones have done incredible things, right? They help us to communicate, they help us to learn new things, they help us to create, they help us to access information that previous generations could only dream about. A small device in our hands can connect us to almost anywhere in the world. That in itself is amazing. But the question we have to ask is this: when does connection become attachment? When does convenience become dependence? When does a helpful tool become something we cannot function without? One of the most interesting things about phone dependency is that many times we aren't even aware we're doing it. Our hand reaches before our mind decides. We're standing in line, we pick up the phone. We're waiting for someone, we pick up the phone. We have 5 minutes of free time, we pick up the phone. We're uncomfortable, we pick up the phone. It becomes a reflex, almost like breathing. And the strange thing is, sometimes we're not even looking for anything specific. We're not waiting for a message. We're not researching something important. We're just checking. Checking for what? Maybe a distraction, maybe entertainment, maybe validation, maybe a temporary escape from silence, because silence has become uncomfortable for many people. Now, there's this other piece of information that they call the fear of missing out. We live in a world where everyone appears to be constantly doing something, right? Someone is traveling, someone is celebrating, someone is achieving, someone is sharing their highlight reel. And when we constantly consume everyone else's moments, we can start feeling like we're missing something. But here's the truth: a phone can show you thousands of lives, but it cannot allow you to fully live your own. You can watch someone else's vacation and miss the beauty of your own surroundings. You can scroll through someone else's accomplishments and forget to appreciate your own journey. You can be so busy looking at what's happening everywhere else that you miss what is happening right in front of you. Everything has a cost, and the cost of always being connected may be our attention. Attention is one of the most valuable things we have. Where our attention goes, our energy usually follows. And if our attention is constantly divided between notifications, alerts, videos, and updates, we may lose the ability to simply be present. We may sit with someone we love, but mentally be somewhere else. We may listen to a conversation while secretly wondering what's happening online. We may miss moments because we're too busy recording them. Sometimes we're so focused on capturing memories that we forget to actually experience them. Now, a sunset does not become more beautiful because it gets posted. A family moment does not become more meaningful because it receives likes. Some moments are valuable simply because we were there. Now, another danger of our digital appendage is comparison. Social media gives us access to carefully selected pieces of people's lives, right? We see the vacation, we don't see the stress before the trip. We see the celebration, we don't see the struggle behind the achievement. We'll see the success, yet we don't see the years of preparation. But when we compare our everyday reality to someone else's edited presentation, we can begin feeling dissatisfied. We start asking questions like, why am I not further along? Why don't I have what they have? Why does their life seem better? But we have to remember this. A screen can display an image. It cannot display the whole story. Now, from a perspective spiritually, this topic is really worth examining. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, to everything there's a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. So there's a time to communicate, there's a time to work, a time to rest, a time to reflect, and a time to be still. But if our phones occupy every quiet moment, we may have to ask ourselves this. Are we leaving room for stillness? Psalm chapter 46, verse 10 says, be still and know that I am God. Being still is powerful. Being still allows us to think. Being still allows us to reflect. Being still allows us to hear. But sometimes we tend to fill every quiet space with noise. The moment we have a thought, we search. The moment we feel bored, we scroll. The moment we feel uncomfortable, we distract ourselves. But maybe some of the moments we call boredom are actually invitations to reflect. Maybe some silence is where creativity is born. Maybe some stillness is where clarity comes. The question isn't, are phones bad? The question is, who is in control? A phone should be a servant, not a master. It should help us accomplish things, not control our attention. It should connect us, not isolate us. It should be something we use, not something that uses us. Because anything that has too much control over our time, our emotions, and our thoughts deserves our attention. So maybe, just maybe, we need to practice small acts of freedom, not throwing away our phones entirely, not rejecting technology, just creating a sense of balance. Try leaving your phone in another room for a short period. Try eating a meal without it nearby. Try taking a walk without needing to document every step. Try starting your morning with reflection before notifications. Try having conversations where the phone is not sitting between you and another person. Because sometimes the greatest gift we can give someone is our undivided attention. Okay, so I just want to say something. Our phones were designed to fit into our hands, but they were never designed to take over our lives. Yes, these smartphones, they're incredible tools, but they're really not our identity. They are simple devices. They're not replacements for relationships. They're not replacements for purpose. And they're not replacements for your peace. So maybe today is a good time to ask ourselves, and I'm speaking to myself here, is my phone something I carry, or is it something that carries me? Is it a tool I control, or has it become a digital appendage that I feel I cannot live without? Because we were created by God with hands to build, to serve, to love, and to connect with each other. And sometimes the most important thing we can do with our hands is to put the phone down long enough to hold on to what truly matters. Well, thank you for listening to this podcast. I hope and I'm sure it probably resonates with a lot of you. If you choose to, you can freely share with anyone you feel might need to hear this message. And until my next podcast podium, see you later. Have a great one.